Midori Verite is a relationship energizing coach, as well as the author of Secrets to a Kick-Ass Marriage. Welcome to the show. I was gonna ask you for the secret right up, but I realized, I should just buy the book, which came out today.
It came out today, yes.
Yeah, soft launch, and I know you're ramping up to a bigger thing. That's awesome.
Thank you.
But I have to ask you, what is a relationship energizing coach?
Big difference in that I help couples plug back into the relationship. So we focus on helping, what a plugged in relationship means is we're helping them reignite the passion, the excitement, the fun in the relationship, rather than dealing with just pulling up all the horrible parts of the relationship, which happens with other types of therapy.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah, like marriage counseling can be basically, here's my garbage and here's her garbage.
Yes. So we just have a different focus on it. And so from once we help them plug back into the relationship, we take them to the next stage, which is about helping them come up with what their common goals and their dreams are to establish the type of lifestyle and what they want together. And that's amazing. Once they get to that point, to watch the transition from when they first started the program to when they get to that stage, completely different.
Wow.
And you can just see the couple start to blossom and grow together and start having fun together. So it's...
Well, what brought you to this kind of work? I mean, it sounds like it's rewarding in its way, but were you once in a troubled relationship, or what precipitated this kind of professional line?
Okay. I have been married forever. Okay. My husband and I have been together since we were 18, and now we're 105, so we have been together for a long time. Quite a long time. But when I turned 40, I realized that, God, I was so unhappy. I hated my life. I hated that I didn't achieve the goals that I wanted, and I projected that all onto my husband. So I blamed him for everything. And it was a long process. It was about 6 months that I went through this depression. And what I realized through all that is that that's what happens with so many marriages is they get to that kind of that middle stage, and that's when you see so many divorces happen. Luckily, I figured out how to get through it.
So you're saying relationships can transpire such that when one person finds themselves unhappy, they logically blame their partner for that unhappiness?
Unknowingly.
Okay.
Unknowingly, yeah. So it was a long process, and then finally I realized what I was doing.
Didn't he tell you, like, hey, it's not my fault, what's up?
Totally, yeah.
But you couldn't...
Called each other all kinds of names.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was intense. It was really intense, and the thought of divorce was brought up more than once.
Oh, sure. But how did you navigate from that and make these discoveries and then create a plan that other people could follow to save their relationships and improve them?
I think after 6 months, I was in that hole for 6 months, and then it's either you're going to stay here or you're going to get out. So that's when I decided it's time for me to start improving my life and figuring out what the heck's going on and what changes I'm going to make.
Right.
So,
and it wasn't just relationship based, it sounds like. It sounds like you had other issues that you wanted to...
I just wasn't happy. Yeah, I think I was disappointed in myself that the goals that I had from when I was younger hadn't materialized.
Right.
You know, kids and everything else.
Can I ask, so kids, was it other career ambitions, or?
I wanted to be CEO of Fortune 500.
Right.
And I had my own business, but we weren't close to that stage.
I see.
And so I think it's regardless of what it was that I didn't achieve, I feel that a lot of people go through that, where maybe they achieve too much and they wish that they had spent more time with family, or whatever it is. We all go through regret.
And it sounds like, not to make a cliche of it, but like a midlife crisis, right?
Oh, for sure.
But instead of like doing what a dude would do and getting a motorcycle and like a teenage girlfriend, you created an empire. You created a business that you're building.
That was the end result.
Right.
That was the end result.
Did you know that was where you were going to go, or it was just something? Okay.
No clue.
Yeah.
No clue. And I started reading a ton of cognitive and behavioral therapies, and started going to seminars, and stopped watching TV completely, and just engulfed myself in just
chapter
changing
1
everything.
of your book. Turn off the TV, chapter 1. Yeah, right.
Really, it is. It's not in there, but that is a good note.
I think that people often, lose their ability to see their partner when they're completely distracted by media and stuff like that.
Cell phones it happens.
Yeah.
And I think in today's world, that's more of a deterrence than it once was.
Oh yeah, it's a total. I mean, you can see relationships crumbling at cafes where you have one person on their phone, the other on their phone. They're
no
not
one's talking.
Yeah,
no one's talking.
And yet you have this communication device that you could talk. Yeah.
Right. They can text each other.
Yeah. They might be texting.
They might be texting
about the waiter, you know. So, okay.
Right.
But okay, so when you went through your process and then you began to sort of codify or at least enumerate like aspects of what you went through in a way that would be therapeutic for others. When did you know? When did you know that you had something you could share that would work? When it worked for you, or was it a process that you had to discover in real time?
It was a process. It didn't just happen overnight. I think when it got to the worst part where, you know, I was considering leaving my husband, which I never dreamed that would happen, because he was a good person. He is a good person. And I think when I started to realize that it was me and just where I had, how I could see the transition of feeling so down in the dumps and crappy to feeling uplifted and excited again and happy again, and when I stopped blaming him, that's when things started to click. And it was a process. It took a while.
What was the first revelation, can I ask? Besides knowing that it was you, not
I think when I stopped wanting to, we had a business together for, at that point, I think it was 15 years. Hated it. That was probably the biggest thing. I absolutely couldn't stand it. I told him I wanted to sell it for years and years.
What was the
and
business?
He wouldn't. We do company picnics. We still have it. We do company rentals, and it got fairly large. But I was absolutely just burnt out, is what it was. And I was projecting that onto him. And all that frustration with being kind of stuck, I felt like I was stuck, I blamed him for. So finally, I got to the point where I'm going to start doing my own thing and take myself. I had trained someone to take over my job. And all of a sudden, I could get out and I could breathe again and I could think again. And that's when it all started to change for me.
Excellent. Okay. We'll come back in just a moment and pick up with Joy Verite.